Right, carrying on from part one, in part two here we're going to repot the Nepenthes that we've cut back. Again, people do worry about this. They aren't as easy to do, I don't think, as Sarracenia. The roots are very, very fine on these plants, and the less disturbance the better really. So this Suki's in a small hanging pot. We'll pot it on into a larger one. I'll gently shake it out. Now the roots are really, really fine. I don't know if you can pick these up on the camera. They're very, very fine, and they're all around the outside here. And you can see the white tips of the ends of them. You can't be as brutal as you are with Sarracenia. You've got to gently, very, very gently tease these apart. You would be really, really careful. And if you want to be really, really careful, it would be good to get some lukewarm rainwater, dunk the root ball in that, then you can really gently tease them apart. And that's a good way to do it. But on this occasion, I'm just going to loosen the root ball very, very gently. I'm not going to pull it apart. Can you see the roots here? Very, very fine. It's very easy to pull. I mean, even now you can see I've pulled some away. So be very, very, very careful. So just loosen the root ball up a bit. I want to put this up into a larger hanging basket. This one here, this is a 6-inch hanging basket. We sell these on our website. And we're going to pop this up into our German peat, again available on our website. This is really, really good stuff. It's quite open, very resilient, long lasting, and completely different to the normal medium grade peat that we use for Sarracenia. This is quite chunky. Unlike Sarracenia, which I really force into their pots, Nepenthes you've got to be quite loose and just sprinkle some in the bottom, literally like that. That's what you need to do. The root ball, I gently place it on top and just incorporate a bit of the compost around the outside. So it's quite a delicate job this compared with Sarracenia. Not pressing in at all, just gently trickling it in. There we go. Right. Hang on that one. So, there she is, that's Suki, all ready to go into the greenhouse. This is one that was cut back earlier but not repotted. Now I've got, well, it's a nice plant here. This is a Rhodcampii cross ventricosa, and it's in a very small pot. Now if I wanted to be really brutal with this one, I could cut these two main stems off and allow these two basal rosettes to take over as the main plant. But because it's got some reasonable pictures on it, and this one doesn't tend to run as easily as these other two, I'm tempted just to leave those two stems on there. I'll just take the hanger off again. Take it out of this pot carefully. Now remove any of these dead leaves. Let's have a look. There's some dead brown leaves here and here. This one with no picture on it, I've removed that one. Tidy it up really, I suppose. There we go. Well, the sun's coming out now. Right. There we go. Again, I will tease some of this root ball away very, very carefully. I don't start tearing it away, you just break all the roots up and you'll find that one of them will die. Another thing we get asked a lot about is with some of these plants where you've got two in one pot. I find it's very, very difficult to separate them off in this way. You would really need to get a bucket of lukewarm rainwater, dip it up and down, and then very, very carefully and slowly tease both plants apart. So you've got a decent root system on each one. Personally, I just leave them like this and pop them on into a larger basket. So I can feel where there aren't any roots, gently, again, tease it apart, the root ball that is. If it's like this, that's fine. Okay, so larger basket, bit of our German peat. in the bottom. And just again, trickle the compost in around the plant. Not pushing it in, like I said earlier. See these two rosettes here? Doesn't matter, I'm just going to cover those over. They'll push through. They'll be fine. A little bit in there. Now what I would probably find, just expose them a bit. There they are. Right. Now what you'll find in probably about 3 or 4 months, this will get quite long. It will have some reasonable sized pictures on it, but these two rosettes would be a really good size. Then I would remove these two and let these two take over as the main plants. Next year, you'd have really big chunky pictures on it, so it'd be a really nice plant again. You probably do this about once every 2 to 3 years. As I say, we use this German peat for a lot of the plants now. It's really good, very reliable, and they grow really well in it. I mean, we do use and we sell mixes with wood chip and perlite and peat, or when you can use dead or live sphagnum. It's up to you really. Some varieties respond to different composts. For an idea, I find this stuff is really good for varieties such as Hamata, Tentaculata, Ventrata does very well in it. Whereas the sphagnum mixes, I find things like Truncata does very well in sphagnum. This one, the Rockantlia, can also do well, but it does equally well in this German peat. Nepenthes aren't as easy as Sarracenia. They are trickier to grow, but they really are rewarding and they're well worth having a go with. And if you've got some and they're starting to get a bit out of hand, I hope that's given you a bit of an idea on what to do with them and how to pot them on. So good luck with your Nepenthes.